Hello and welcome to the Linux Panic YouTube channel. In this video, I'm going to be showing you how to install non-Steam software into Steam so it can then be accessible through the Steam game interface, and also make it so you can add what you want and fiddle around with it. But first, before we proceed any further into the video, I'd like to thank my channel members, Mislav and David Williams, for being channel members. They get early access to videos such as this one right here, as well as a little badge next to the name for both videos and live streams. Anyway, let's get into the video. As we can see here, this is what my Steam desktop looks like. I am currently in desktop mode on my Steam Deck. As we can see, we've got a fair chunk of games installed, as well as some non-Steam games such as Discord, for example, and Surviving Mars. I played several hours of that, but still no game playtime shows up. That's just because it's not a Steam game. Well, it is a Steam game, I just don't own it through Steam. As we can see here, we've got our little markers. So, how do we go through the process of adding a game to Steam for specifically the Steam Deck? Well, first things first, we are going to look at Heroic as the game portion of this. So in Heroic, as we can see here, I have 3 games installed: Metro 2033 Redux, Prison Architect, and Surviving Mars. If we come back to Steam, what we can see is our Metro 2033 Redux, Surviving Mars, and Prison Architect. They're all there. But how? Now, as standard, about that, there's a pickup truck that's just parked. Okay. Sorry, flatbed truck just turned up. I just had to close door. Anyway, as we can see here, we have our games. We can pick and choose someone, yada yada. For instance, we'll pick a small game such as The Escapists. When it comes to installing The Escapists, what this will do, for example, is go through and ask, hey, what do we want to do with our wine settings? And as we can see here, we're using Proton, specifically 8.0-5-3. If we tell it to install, it will install regularly. But, and this is a big but, it is only how you set up the settings in the Heroic browser that you'll actually be able to install. So, for example, add games to Steam automatically. The Escapists will be automatically added to the game, just as standard. The Escapists won't be added to the game. I'm sorry. The Escapists will be added to Steam as standard, because that is the option for setup for this now, such as like playtime synchronization. That's just for good old games. But once this is finished, we will have the Escapists install has finished. If we come back here, a restart of Steam is required to take effect. Now, what we can do is we can just go, okay, we see it. What we will do is we'll exit out of Steam. It's not going to kill the Steam Deck, don't worry. We'll exit out of Steam, reopen Steam, because it is a dynamic library. I currently have that set up through Dynamic Libraries. But once we open Steam, we get the usual spinny. Here's some advertisements for you. I don't want to play Stellaris, no thank you. And if we come back to our installed, it now says 27, and we now have The Escapists, which we didn't previously have. So that's how you would install through something like Heroic, for example. But what if we wanted to install just a regular bit of software, like Discord, for example? I'm not going to install Discord. What I am going to install, though, and what I think everybody who enjoys it will also do the same, we're going to install Spotify. Now, as of recent, I've been listening to a few decent podcasts and the such. So, what if I wanted to listen to them whilst I'm playing a game? Well, traditionally, if I'm in gaming mode, you can't do that because Spotify is not part of the Steam store. At least, I'm pretty damn sure it's not. Let's just give it a quick check. As we can see, it's not. The closest we get is OBR Toolkit. So, do we have Spotify installed? First things first, we have Spotify installed. So, how do we install it so it worked in gaming mode? Well, it's the same as you would add any other regular non-Steam bit of software and or game to Steam. So, for example, we go to the bottom left, click add a game, and add a non-Steam game. Technically speaking, it is not a non-Steam game. It's a non-Steam bit of software, but that's just picking at straws. Now, for example, if we wanted to remain in gaming mode and not have to worry about browsers, we could actually add in a browser or four. In my case, I've got two, and that's Chrome and Firefox. I had to use Chromium for work, but we'll go through the list of bits of software that are here. As we can see, there's OBS, Shortcut, and Spotify is right here. As we can see, this is the location that shows up for it, which is yes, that, and then add selected programs. And we've got Spotify. And we tell it to launch, it will launch. Now, that isn't the only way we can do this. For example, if we wanted to, I don't know, add a non-Steam game and then browse specifically, we can browse specifically for bits of software that aren't properly recognized. So, for example, NeoFetch, if we wanted to. If I just do all files, then yes, there we go. There's NeoFetch. And there's no way that works. It doesn't work. But the idea is you can add anything in, quite literally anything, as we saw here. It was hey, you can add in anything that has these extensions. So, for example, you could add Minecraft into Steam. Minecraft is not part of Steam because something, Microsoft, something, give us our money. Something, we don't want to share it. Something. But that's how you could do it. Now, again, it is recommended that you do if you wanted to. Well, library, it's fine. If you wanted to, as we can see, one remove, don't worry. We've got our installed locally and it shows here, which is fine. If we wanted to remove said escapists, it would be we could hide the game, but if we wanted to delete it, we will go to remove non-Steam game from library. It's still installed in Heroic, as we can see here, and it would just be a uninstall, yes, get rid of everything related to it, and boom, gone. Easy as that. Of course, to remove it, you'd have to launch the Heroic browser, so on and so forth, which wouldn't be a bad idea to add it as additional software to Steam. So again, it's just add a non-Steam product, add a non-Steam game, and then go find Heroic. Once I can figure out how to use my letters. I've gone too far. There we go. Add it in. Give it a moment. Once it catches up. And there we go. So it's now usable inside of gaming mode, which is what you would want. Instead of having to go into desktop mode, add what you want, wait for it to download, wait for it to install, then go back into gaming mode. So just doing it like this means you get access to everything and it works, which is ultimately what you want. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you liked the video, hit the like button. If you disliked it, hit the dislike button. They only seem to work, they both seem to work even though you can only see one of them. And remember, and you use Linux, don't panic. I have been Nick. You have been amazing. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Goodbye.